Autism is a group of neurodevelopmental disorders characterized by troubles with social interaction, communication, and repetitive behaviors. As of today, an estimate of 1 in 59 children have been identified with autism. Here's a story about a 5-year-old boy named Nyle who has the spectrum.
Now he was diagnosed at the age of 3. The sign that I knew that he was autistic, he'd be around other kids. He wouldn't play with them like a normal child would play with kids. He would just like to be to himself. He wouldn't react to himself.
I've been knowing Nyle since he was a newborn, since the day he was born, basically. I've been around his whole life, and now there was a few characteristics that I noticed since he was a baby. And at the time, I was in college, so I really didn't know exactly like, okay, yes, he's autistic. I just knew that there was something different about him, and it wasn't a bad different. It was just he wasn't like most babies.
Now that is my student, has been my student since September of 18. And I've been familiar with Nyle since he was actually in our special education preschool. As is characteristic of his autism, he likes to self-isolate, which means he will come to the carpet. However, he'll turn his back to me while I'm giving instruction. And it doesn't mean that he's not listening. It means that that's his way, and that's part of the characteristics of autism.
What he don't like is loud noise. His noise is real loud. He do not like that. He will cover his ears up because the noise is too loud.
I would notice things like, I guess his speech, or the fact that he would do things like wave his arms. And at the time I was in college, and I noticed that taking some of the classes that these are characteristics of a child that's autistic. And it kind of led me to believe like, okay, maybe he is autistic, maybe there's something there.
His classmates, he's friendly with them, but as part of his disability, his autism, like I said, it's not unusual for him to isolate himself. He will sit with them, but he doesn't necessarily engage with them. He does do a lot of echolalia. That means I'll say something, he'll repeat something. For instance, when I say, and I say this to all of the children when I'm taking attendance and when I greet them coming in the morning, I'll say, "Good morning, Nyle," and he'll say, "Good morning, Nyle." So that's him repeating what I've said, whereas if I say good morning to one of the other children, they'll simply say good morning.
Hi, Nyle.
Some of his autistic behaviors, when I give him crayons, rather than use the crayon, he'll stack the crayons, or he'll line them up. Another thing in terms of his stimming, which he'll go too often, and there's no one thing that will set that off, but his particular stimming, and children with autism all have their own way of coping. That's their stimulating behavior. He likes to hear rattles. An example of that is that if I give him a bin full of manipulatives, or maybe small cubes or something like that, rather than taking them and putting them together, which is a fine motor skill that I want him to work on, he takes it and just shakes it because he likes to hear the noise. He'll shake, 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 unless I'm sitting there, or unless the assistant is sitting there to tell him, we're not shaking, we're building, we're putting together. So those kinds of things he will try to comply. I say to the parents, don't believe that this child is going to be one you have to take care of the rest of your life. You can still have hopes and dreams for your child. You should prepare your child for that kind of success. As all parents, we kind of figure out what our children like and don't like, and we kind of lead them through their education to do those kinds of things. I think Nyle is certainly a candidate for that. He can do anything he wants to do. It's going to depend on all of the players. That's the educational system, the home system, and how to teach him to navigate himself through the world. But he does have the intellect. I just have to pull it out of him sometime. I'm hoping that past 5, he'll get better at just giving it to you when you ask him for it.